What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Chillin podcast. Today, we had the awesome opportunity of chilling with Hanna from Hanna's Princesses. She hosts princess parties, she does birthday parties, she's done tea parties, and she actually has a Princess Academy coming up. So if you have any daughters who like to dress up as princesses and they want to get involved, make sure to check her out. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Chillin podcast. Today, we're chilling with Hanna from Hanna's Princesses. So, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. I guess to go ahead and just jump straight in. Or wait, Jack, did you have?
Oh yeah. Before we go too further, want to wish my niece Cassie a happy birthday. Today's her 14th. Happy birthday, Cassie. Hope you have a great day. And that's actually her mom, my sister Dana's, how we, I guess, found out about you. She was telling us about Hanna's Princesses and, you know, all the things that you're doing. So if you want to first kind of like introduce yourself and just kind of tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, I'm Hanna. I decided to start this business because I myself love princesses, for one, and for two, I love making the kids happy. It's one of my favorite things to do. Their eyes light up, and it's the best feeling in the world.
So how long have you been into princesses? Like, how long has that been a interest of yours and a hobby?
Since my freshman year of high school.
Cool. How long have you actually been doing the business, like actually dressing up for these parties?
Since 2020.
2020. Okay, so right during COVID, huh? I bet that was challenging.
It tanked it pretty hard, so I had to build it back up. So
yeah, understandable. It happened to a lot of people, but I mean, you keep going. So congratulations for the 100 followers.
Yes,
we saw
that's
that.
awesome.
Thank you.
That's pretty much how we connected. So
yeah.
So I guess what got you into actually dressing up for this stuff? Are you into other things like that, I guess? Like cons or anything?
I do go to Comic-Cons every year. I have handmade dresses from a bunch of different companies. I started with a murder mystery party. I dressed up as a princess for that, and it just kind of spiraled from there. So
Gotcha. That's cool. So do you do those still, the murder mystery parties, or is it pretty much just princesses? Or
I do. For the adults, I like to do Valentine's Day ones. Sometimes we do Christmas ones as well. So I'm into a lot of different stuff, not just the princesses. So.
And so going back a little further, did you do theater in school or anything? Or
I've been doing theater since I was 5 years old.
Okay, wow. So it all makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
So okay, and with that, like, what would you say was like your first major? Did you have any like major roles in school? Any like plays from that time that stick out or anything?
Not really. I was more of a background character for most part. My first role ever, I was an Oompa Loompa in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. So cool. We see that you have quite the array of princesses too, and people to help you portray them.
I have a lot of volunteers. I only work with 3 girls on the regular, but the rest usually volunteer.
What's that like to organize all those people together and, you know, get everything to go? Like, I bet that's pretty challenging.
It's a mess. It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of text messages. Some people cancel last minute, so we got to make up for that. Food. We do a lot of food at the parties. That's a challenge as well. But it usually comes together and it's all worth it.
Seeing everybody excited at the end and
Yes.
Having a blast. That's
Dance
awesome.
parties. The kids love dance parties. We usually do that at the end of our parties, and they absolutely love it.
Yeah, they do. My daughter's about to turn 5, and
Aw.
she just dances around the house all the time. So
Yes.
yeah, that's awesome.
Do you have a out of all the, like, so do you dress up as different princesses? Is there like a favorite princess that sticks out?
My all-time favorite princess is Rapunzel, but my most popular is Anna from Frozen, because the Frozen sisters are really popular right now.
Everybody's requesting Frozen.
Yes.
Funny. Tangled was one of my daughter's favorite movies when she was like 2. And, it was one of the things we could stick her in front of, and she would just watch. So
My favorite. It's my favorite Disney movie. So
I can definitely say I've seen it a lot, and it's not bad.
at least it's not Frozen.
Yeah, she didn't attach to that one as much. She watched it a little bit. Couldn't really get her into Brave or anything like that for some reason, but she would sit and watch Tangled, the movies and the series.
Oh, I love the series.
She did too. Yeah. So,
I actually went to Disney recently to like kind of get a feel for the princesses as well. So that was pretty fun. So
I bet. I was going to say, like, how do you really like get in character for it? Do you spend a little time watching the movies before you do the play or the parties, or?
yeah, I definitely sit in front of my TV and watch the movie a couple times. Kids love to ask questions. So
Yep.
I have to like familiarize myself with everything. So
Study up on the characters, all the people, the things that happen.
Definitely.
That makes
But
sense.
I'm a Disney nerd anyway, so I know most of the stuff anyway. So
Right, but it doesn't hurt to have a quick refresher before however many kids are going to start hounding you about it.
right.
So
It's usually, where's your prince at? Where's this person at?
yeah, I was going to ask about that. I assumed you might sometimes get supporting prince roles, or is it strictly princesses?
Sometimes we get guys. It's very rare. My dad is a wrestling coach, so sometimes I borrow some of the wrestlers
Gotcha.
when I can.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the biggest party you've done? Like, how many kids, and what was that like?
So I had a sold out party. It was 80 kids.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We had about 7 different princesses, a couple princes. It was chaotic, but it worked.
Well, 80 kids was enough to definitely paint that picture. I have one, and it's chaotic.
Yeah. But they listen to the princesses, so it works out. We usually do stations to kind of split everyone up so they're not all in one spot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we make it work.
Yeah. And do the kids show up dressed as princesses and stuff as well?
Oh,
Usually,
absolutely.
yeah.
We definitely love that.
That's adorable. So what would you say that's your most memorable or one of your favorite parties that you've done, or do you prefer smaller?
Oh, no, I like the bigger ones because 1, I have help.
That's true.
Teamwork.
And 2, the kids, I just love watching them interact with the other characters while I'm interacting with my own kids and like all that stuff. So
Yeah, and so do you kind of like, I guess, switch around, like you said, stations, so it kind of rotates, so they all get to meet the different princesses? And
yes.
where would you host something with 80 kids, like a gymnasium?
We had a place in Bardstown called the Wickland House, and it was a 2-story house, and we were allowed free roam of the whole house. So we just kind of set up rooms everywhere.
Still sounds pretty packed, 80 kids, and I can only imagine plenty of adults as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, wow. That's crazy.
It is.
And so, what outside of Disney, just to kind of branch off a little bit, even though I know
Mhm.
that's the main theme, what's some of the other things that you like to dress up as, or do you do other characters when you go to cons and stuff?
Um, I'm really big into anime as well, so I do anime characters. I actually had a birthday party booked for a superhero, which was kind of fun.
Oh yeah,
Miraculous Ladybug, if you know who that is.
my daughter watches Ladybug too. Yes.
Yeah, we have her now, so we're
Okay.
looking into superheroes in general. So
Cool. So that's kind of the future. It's not just princesses anymore.
yeah.
That's the look forward superheroes and things like that. That's cool.
Like dressing up all the time. Are you, when Halloween comes up, are you do you go all in, or are you just kind of just another day for you?
So recently my work had a Halloween party and I went in full bell gown to work
Nice.
just to win the costume contest. So I
Yes.
do go all out.
Awesome.
That's cool though. Have you ever worked at a haunted house or anything? Because I know.
I'm looking into that next year. I had asked around to see how I could get into that kind of stuff. So definitely looking into that.
So you this has been like a hobby as far as like the princesses and the theater. That's been a hobby like her whole life, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you Would you say that there was kind of like at a certain point, like you said a few years ago, when you started doing the princess shows, the princess parties? Do you Would you say that there was like a transition where like you're looking at it, both as a hobby and a business? Like, does that kind of play hand in hand, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So I started off with volunteering to read to kids at the library, and I realized how popular that was. So I started looking into getting venues and booking for birthday parties. My first birthday party was one of my mother's friend's daughters. So I tested that out, and it worked out so well that I was just like, why not?
Awesome. Awesome. So that's where you was able to kind of turn it from just a hobby and more of a business with like trying to turn it more monetarily, right?
Right.
Awesome.
And it's kind of funny because when I went to Disney when I was really little, the fairy godmother took me into the parade, and I kind of joke saying that's the day I decided to be a Disney princess.
Awesome. So that's the story. That's when you caught the bug. That's when it like
Right.
you knew it was for you. Awesome. What about like with the Comic Cons? Like, would you say that kind of goes in as far as like, do you use that to promote the princess parties, or is that kind of separate?
It's separate. I don't like handing out business cards at cons. It's weird to me. But if I dress up as a princess and go to a con and little girls run up to me, I just try and like talk to the parents about it. So it's not like weird.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So has most of your marketing been like word of mouth, or do you do a lot on social media?
I have a Facebook page. It's the same name as my business. Like you said, it has 100 followers. That's where I've been doing most of my promoting. Word of mouth also helps.
Yeah, I'm sure like if the doing the parties and stuff, once they realize you do birthdays and everything, it's with 80 kids comes quite a few parents. So
Right.
and so what's the best way for people to reach out to you when they want to book something? Would it be the phone number or
The
Facebook
phone
or
number, the Facebook is the most popular way because people like to text me instead of like call me, which is fine because I understand that.
yeah.
So Hannah's Princesses on Facebook is a good way to message me. There's also my email on my business card.
Yep.
Perfect. And we got it. I don't know if you can see it on the screen on your end, but we got it on the screen right now too. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. So said the future for you is moving into superheroes. Is that kind of where you're gonna stop, do you think? Or is this something that you're just gonna probably keep doing forever and just trying to introduce more and more characters?
I'm gonna get it as big as I can get it. My mom was like, "What are you gonna do when you start getting gray?" And I was like, "I can dress up and be the fairy godmother." So
There you go.
I'm just gonna keep going.
Awesome.
There you go. That ambition, that drive is important. And I mean, that definitely shows if you've hosted a party with that many kids already and, 3 years and half of that was during COVID. I mean,
Yeah.
So when was that party? If
That
was
was,
it,
ooh, I want to say 2021, like
okay,
right after like the COVID stuff lifted.
I mean, that's got to be. Was that kind of intimidating? I mean,
Yeah, a little bit. I wasn't expecting that many people, so.
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you said 80 kids and I kind of fell back a little bit like, wow. Would you say that there was how many parents would you say were there? Because I'm just trying to get a picture of the number of people.
Well, I would say around 90 probably, because there was a couple that brought 2 parents with them and stuff like that. So,
Wow,
yeah,
that's wild. That's a lot of people.
it's a lot of people.
How did you find the place to host it? I mean, I know you said it was local, but did you just kind of reach out to a few places that had space and
So, my brother had his reception there. So, I just was doing research after that.
gotcha, makes sense. And is that kind of where you usually host or do you kind of travel around or?
I travel around and get different venues. Right now, I'm looking into getting one in Shepherdsville for January. We're doing a Princess Academy. So we're going to teach little girls like etiquette and stuff like that.
Okay, that's really cool. So that's a really interesting twist on it instead of just doing, parties. Like that really gets them involved and into the theater stuff kind of themselves as well. So that's awesome.
Right.
It's cool to see how well you're mixing like passion with the business. You got to make money, you got to keep going, you got to keep getting bigger, but you can definitely tell that there's a passion there. So that's really cool.
It's the best thing ever. Like I was excited.
You can tell it's awesome to see.
One video that sticks out, whenever my sister first told me about what you do, I remember seeing a video somebody shared, I don't know if it was like TikTok or what, but it was one of the princesses at Disney and how she interacted. She interacted with a kid there that was nonverbal. He was, he looked like he was maybe 18 years old, but it was just really cool to see that interaction and like really that moment. You could tell like, even though he wasn't speaking or anything, you could just tell through, that it really meant a lot to him. So like, that's one of the first things I thought of when my sister told me about what you do. And, I'm sure that you get similar experiences like that, making, these kids happy. So that's really awesome.
Right. My nephew is actually autistic, so I have experience with that kind of stuff. So
Awesome.
That's a challenge too. I definitely know that. Have you had that at parties and stuff? Have you had anyone that kind of struggled interacting and kind of had to bring that out?
I have not yet, but I'm prepared when it happens.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely good because it means the world to them. It definitely does.
Yes.
So with this being a background in theater, have you thought of going like towards more like film roles or just more theatrical type?
I prefer theatrical. I am no good in front of a camera. I was actually really nervous to come on here with the camera on. So definitely theatrical. I've been looking into doing more plays and stuff too. So
I mean, there's definitely a big scene for theater here. Here and I know Bardstown has a couple of theaters, and then of course Louisville has several theaters, small theaters, and everything. Speaking of theater, I was homeschooled when I was younger, and my mom used to use Derby Dinner Playhouse as an excuse.
I go there a lot.
I figured you'd probably be familiar with it. It's a cool place. It's a cooler experience because the stage is in the center and you see the cast members just kind of running through, at least from what I remember, they run through all the aisles and stuff as they're trying to get to where they're going, or if they have to exit, they're running past these tables, and it's
Right.
Sounds like an experience.
it's chaos for sure, but I mean it is cool though. It's different than just sitting down and watching a movie.
Yes.
Oh. Is
We're
that kind
actually going to go see Frozen on Broadway. It's coming to Louisville in January. We're actually going to go see that too. So
that's cool. I bet you're excited.
I am.
Even though you said Frozen's not necessarily your favorite, but it's still cool.
A princess.
That's
still
true.
A princess movie.
Still there. That's awesome. And so would you say that's kind of what draws you to theater? I mean, I know you said you don't really care for being in front of camera, but is it also kind of that more crowd interaction? Like, it's just more personal?
Right. Yeah. I love the reactions. I love interacting. I love all that stuff. Like human interaction is the best part of that. So.
Yep. Cool. That's awesome. And we already covered that you have how people should get a hold of you, Facebook, phone number. There's the email on there too. Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned a party that's coming up. What's coming up that people could try to join?
So we are working on a venue right now. We have not secured one yet, but I'm aiming for January 27th.
Okay. And is it just like you said it was the Academy, the Princess Academy. Yes. Okay. Do you have anything planned after that? Like just the tea parties, or I know that I saw that on the Facebook.
Yeah, we usually do tea parties twice a year. I try to do them when the schools are having breaks so the kids don't have school the next morning.
Yeah, that's smart.
Or like after Christmas when they're not doing anything and the parents just want to like bring their kids somewhere. So we try to plan them at least twice a year.
Okay. So if people are interested, you got the Princess Academy coming up in January. And then twice a year, people can be on the lookout for the tea parties. How many princesses do you think you'll have at the Academy? Do you know?
We're aiming for around 8.
Is that a fairly typical number? Because I know I did see the Facebook page, and I saw the picture where there's like 12 people lined up in a room in costume, and I was like, that's a lot of people to organize.
That was our 80 kid party.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people. And so were they all like there interacting with the kids? Is that all the people you were organizing for that event?
Yes. One of them did go home early though, because she got really nervous and got an upset stomach. So.
Yeah, I would be too. But that's awesome. It's awesome to see you pulling that many people in, pulling the kids in. Again, kind of with the Academy thing, like I said, introducing kids to theater and how, you can get into character and things like that. That's awesome because theater, it's lost its shine over the years with the advancement of movies and film and everything. Not to take anything away from film, but I feel like theater isn't as popular as it was.
Right. So we gotta help that.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you gotten that where some of the kids that you've hosted the parties at, where they come to you and be like, they want to be princesses when they grow up?
Oh yeah, all the time. For this Princess Academy, we're making up certificates too, so they can be official princesses. So.
Awesome.
That's nice. Cool. I bet that's going to end up framed on a lot of their walls.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. And hopefully, I mean, you said you want to do this forever. You might end up with some kids that you teach in January helping you out later on in life. Who
Maybe,
knows?
Yeah.
That'd be wild. Oh, that's cool.
I actually had a girl, I went to her sister's birthday party, and she was 15 at the time. And she came to me later and was like, hey, I want to be a princess. She was just like, I'm all grown up now. Let me join you. And she's actually one of my main princesses now. So
Awesome.
Okay,
So
that's
it's already
funny.
happening.
It's already
Right.
happened. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
that's really cool. That's awesome. And like I said, just getting so many people involved, and I think it's awesome to even be able to organize that many people. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I couldn't imagine organizing a handful, let alone 80.
We struggle staying organized between
Right,
us for this, so I can't imagine.
I do have a lot of help. So it's not just me, thankfully. So
I mean, it's you need it for sure. Wow. Well, you got anything else? I
No.
think I've got it. Do you have anything else that you want to share about it, or anything else to promote, or other than the events?
I think I got everything covered.
Cool. I guess, yeah, I mean, if you want to book Hannah's Princesses, information's on the screen, and make sure to reach out. And sounds like she's got it covered completely. All the bases, and it sounds really awesome. Awesome opportunity for the kids to get involved and dress up outside of like Halloween and, ugly Christmas sweaters. So
If you can't afford to go to Disney, I'm local. So
there you go. That too.
Yes.
There you go.
Support local. Always.
Absolutely. That's our main focus, supporting local. So it's awesome to see it happening here and at such a scale too. It's pretty cool. So I guess with that, we'll go ahead and close it out, and we'll see you all next time. And again, make sure to reach out to Hannah.